Hello, my name is David O'Brien. And I'm here for your success in the areas of purity. Hello, welcome back to the Purity Forum broadcast. My name is David O'Brien. I'm the Bondage Breaker. Glad that you've joined me this afternoon. If it's afternoon where you are, wherever you are, whatever time it is, I'm glad you're here. Because today we're talking about rebuilding the walls of your life. Now, this presupposes that walls have been destroyed or removed. And you can rebuild the walls that were taken down not in your life, but in generations prior to you. You know, when a baby's born, they don't have walls. They have the protection of whoever catches them out of the womb, so to speak, and brings them into this world. And thankfully, most of us survive. But oftentimes we're raised by parents who don't have all the walls of their life intact, and they pass down what they know or don't know to us. And we can actually live life vulnerable because there aren't certain walls in place that God designed for humans to have. And so it's important to rebuild walls of your life, even if you've never had any torn down. Maybe you never had the right walls. And then for some people, you had really good walls, which can represent ability to keep yourself safe in this world, in different areas of life. This is the Purity Forum broadcast. We're talking about purity. For example, the purity walls that are in your mind. Growing up as a child, you know, we wear clothing. In every society of the earth, people wear clothing ever since. You can look in the Bible, the book of Genesis, where God started that whole thing of wearing clothing. And it's very important because it allows for an intact boundary or wall in the mind, just in daily life. And so that can be, that wall can be broken, in which case you need to rebuild it. And I'm going to teach you in this short teaching how to do so. So God will help you supernaturally to rebuild the walls of your life. You could have hurt your boundaries through a boyfriend, so to speak. You know, in the United States culture, which is spread around the world, a lot of times people do boyfriend, girlfriend, and a lot of times they get too close within within that relationship that was set up. In American culture recently, it was just a few decades ago, they started that. And a lot of times people will just kind of, like a bull in a china shop, just go past their boundaries and things and hurt themselves, hurt the other person, really hurt the walls of their life through that relationship. Now, that's never the focus. Our focus is forward, and our focus is on good things because God is doing good things in your life at all times. There's a good God, and you're here for a reason. And he's working in your life. That's why you're hearing this teaching right now, so that he can touch you. And when he touches us, the past doesn't matter because he brings to life things in our soul. He brings things to life in our mind, in our soul, in our body. And things that maybe were dead or dormant for a long time, he can bring to life very quickly just with the touch. And so we're letting God restore us and rebuild the walls of our life so that you basically have a more comfortable life. You know, if you don't have a wall, the wind will blow in to your living space and it can cause discomfort. It can actually disrupt the work that you're doing, what you're doing in life. God has things for you to do. And imagine you've got everything lined up, you're working, you have assignments, and a gust of wind blows in and the papers fly everywhere. You know, you have to then go collect them. You have to figure out where you were, get started again. It can be time consuming and it could be annoying. But when you rebuild the walls, the things that would have brought an interruption to your productivity are stopped. It's not that the wind didn't stop. The wind did not stop. It's not that the wind stopped. It still blows, but it can't reach you because you're inside of secure, strong walls. So how do you put those walls in place in your life? First of all, I want you to understand that truth is a wall. Truth is a wall that we can stand behind. Living truth. Now, truth comes from God. It comes from his mouth. And it relates to things about us and many times the unseen realm. And it relates to things about our relationship with him, relationship with us. There's a lot of things about truth. But basically, you know truth because it comes into you by God. It comes out of his mouth. When that happens, it is the potential in you to create a wall on the outside of you. Receiving the truth, it feels good. It enlightens you. It does something no knowledge on the earth can do. And you know that. Those of you who know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But know this, once you first received it, now you have the potential to turn it into a wall. It's not solidified yet in your life or for your life. It is like soft concrete still. It needs to harden. And how does it harden? By utilizing it, acting based on it, remembering it. First of all, you have to remember it. Secondly, go ahead and speak it. Let it become part of your vocabulary. That's how you know that it's in your life to the full, to overflowing. It comes out of your mouth. And then, very importantly, stay within that truth despite opposition. In other words, there will be a test. There will be some sort of a reason, something trying to draw you away from that truth, to think or act on a lower level, almost reality. But it's not. Usually it's a deception, some kind of lower level way. If you push through that, which is our job, we're putting up walls, good, strong, healthy walls. And so if you keep your eyes on the truth you received, which requires conscious effort, going back over your notes, sitting with God, talking about these truths, praying about them or whatever, thinking about them, speaking them, teaching them to others, whatever it takes, definitely teaching them to others, speaking them when you're alone, then those truths harden into a very helpful, productive wall for you, very functional wall in your life. And basically there are thousands, there are millions of truths, and these can all create different angles and aspects of the walls of our life, because we're building a mansion here. And he has a lot for you to do. So he needs to make sure that you're protected, that you have good shelter. And so basically you receive truth and then you stand on it, remember it, act on it. It will harden. And guess what happens? Then it blesses and affects your relationships. It blesses and affects your work. It allows you to feel secure and at ease. You know, when you're living in a house, you feel secure and at ease. If you're homeless, you never know. Is there a raccoon or some kind of animal going to come and bite your toes when you're trying to sleep? Is someone going to come steal your stuff, your radio or whatever? So I'm speaking in funny terms, old language radio. But point being is, your cell phone, you need the security of walls. So the walls are there through God. He helps. He gives you truth that you need. You have to spend the time to gather the truths. Then you have to let those truths become your new reality. And that's a conscious thing that you have to choose to do. It doesn't happen just automatically. Part of it does, but then you have to hold to the truth so that they become stable for you. And these truths can be diverse. They can be in any area of your life, relationships and everything else. So go after the truth, find it and put it into place and let it become a new level of protection and security for you.